CRUZ representing Brazil. Hannah ASPDEN of USA. Nuria Marquez Soto of Spain. Amy Marren of Great Britain. Natalie Sims, USA. And Yulia GORDIYCHUK of Israel all go in this heat number 2. Camille CRUZ, the Brazilian, goes in lane 2. Well, the world record still stands from Natalie from the Beijing Paralympics. Camille CRUZ will undoubtedly have a lot of support throughout this 400-meter race. Great Britain's Amy Marren finished 4th in this event 4 years ago. Fastest seed in lane 4, Nuria Marquez Soto. The women's 400 freestyle S9 crowd erupting for lane 2, Camille CRUZ, Brazil. But it's the center 2 lanes that get into their rhythm. Marquez Soto, the Spanish, alongside her, Amy Marren of Great Britain, taking an early lead. Nuria Marquez Soto, the silver medal from World Championships last year, finding the early pace. Great Britain's Amy Marren trying to stick on the shoulder of the Spanish athlete. Hannah ASPDEN, USA, turns in 3rd. But it looks as though the leaders are now opening up a little bit of a gap. Marquez Soto and Marren. Marren trying to stay with the Spanish athlete. But Nuria Marquez Soto putting the pace down here as they come to the first 100 meters. Still ahead. Marren in 2nd, finding a consistent pace. That's what it's all about. Well, going well on the outside. GORDIYCHUK, the Israeli, turns in 3rd.
Well, showing her class here. She was only 16 years old at the World Championships last year, Marquez Soto, where she's surprised with her performances. Podium finishes in the 100 and 400 freestyle, and indeed in the 100 back and 100 fly. She's a good all-round swimmer, very strong swimmer, and again, it's got the energy in the pool, but the 400, one of the longer distances and the longest at the Paralympic Games. You know, the swimmers will need to find a consistency and need to find a rhythm and a good stroke rate. There is the opportunity to speed it up in the closing stages, but Marren is staying with Marquez Soto here. Nuria Marquez Soto of Spain is the fastest in this heat and looking again to post a time that'll be competitive and see her with a decent lane draw for the final. That'll be her aim. She'll know she'll have to swim against swimmers like Manon Vermeulen of the Netherlands and indeed Ellie Cole of Australia in all likelihood, so that's where she'll be focusing her attention. But at the 200-meter mark, there's less than half a second that splits Marquez Soto from Marren, but 3rd is nearly 6 seconds back with Natalie Sims, who got off to an explosive start off the blocks, but has been dropped by the swimmers in the pool. But it's Marren who's making a move now in the latter half of this race. Is Amy Marren going to be trying to go for the negative splits in this race?
Marquez Soto dropped by almost 2 seconds on that 4th 50. So it's hard to tell whether Marren is increasing her pace or Marquez Soto just dropping off it slightly, and both swimmers there pretty consistent. Marquez Soto just ahead of Marren, but now looks as though Marren came out of that turn. She's got her head down. She's breathing to the right-hand side, so she won't see Nuria Marquez Soto on this 50 meters, and maybe using that to advantage to get into a rhythm, because now Amy Marren has the lead as they come towards the final 100 meters.
Well, indeed, you point out, talking about watching the swimmer alongside you, and indeed we've seen it before, where swimmers are in fact a little focused on beating a rival or staying ahead of their opponent, that they almost forget to swim their own race. They neglect their own race strategy, and sometimes you can see that proving costly. That said, this is still a heat where times are going to get you into a final quite possibly, but these two are making a real charge for decent lane draws come the final as well. As they edge towards the very last turn, they're well off world record pace. It's not going to be blistering pace, but I'm hoping it'll be enough to see them sneak in to the final. Again, less than 0.4 of a second separates Marquez Soto and MARREN, as Marquez Soto touches just ahead of the great British swimmer.
Well, MARREN again strong off the wall, breathing on that right-hand side, and just seems to really excel on the 50 meters when she's going this way. And now both swimmers upping the pace. You can see the leg kick suddenly increased by Amy MARREN of Great Britain. She wants to win this heat. The pace has been upped incredibly. Marquez Soto tries to go with her, and Amy MARREN wins heat 2 for Great Britain. Marquez Soto second. It's going to be very close indeed to see who touches in third. It is Natalie Sims, USA. And they're finishing now to the crowd's applause. Brazil's Camille CRUZ touched in fifth, just behind Hannah ASPDEN, USA. 11/100ths of a second separating Sims and ASPDEN, the USA teammates. Amy MARREN jostling the whole way with Nuria Marquez Soto, tops heat